Not attracted to in any way. Even the marriage was used as a way to control me. And so after 3.5 months, almost 4 months, I told her, I said, I'm sorry, I don't love you. I tried to, I don't. You know, go home, they'll give you to somebody who will. You know, girls hear this and they go, oh, that's so mean. And I'm like, no, it was desperation, it was survival. I just about got trapped in something that I don't know that I would have escaped from. I had to come to the point where I just said, oh well, I guess I'm going to go to hell, but I got to get out of here.
And I remember finally when I left, I mean emotionally, I was still 15, 16 years old and 5 children to be responsible for.
Fundamentalism was not able to fill that void in my life, and I finally left the fundamentalist group.
And then they wanted to give my husband an 18-year-old girl. And I said, well, if you take her for a wife, she's not living here. And I won't be a party to it. Well then, you know, there's always the whippings and the beatings that go on. And it went from bad to worse. And that's when I decided I was out of there. That's when I left. But I just couldn't take it anymore.
And I left the only life that I'd ever known. I was 57 years old when I left, and I still didn't know God, still didn't know the truth, but I knew that that wasn't it.
Ervil LeBaron, Joel's younger brother, he wanted to be the leader of the church, and so he had his brother Joel murdered. We'd been taught from the time I was a little girl that Joel would be here to usher in Jesus Christ's second coming. So when that didn't happen, yeah, my faith really was shaken at that point. At the point that Verlin started to court his 10th wife, I knew that I just couldn't hang around any longer. I needed to get my children and myself and leave. I was 23 and we left the colony, and I knew that I wouldn't go back, that I was leaving for good. Of course, I really didn't know what I was going to. I was scared. I felt very, very lost.
I was locked in a small 8x10 room. I was in that room for about 9 months. My health deteriorated terribly. When I was in that room, every day I prayed, and I never prayed for the Lord to get me out of there, because I don't want to be looked upon by God as a covenant breaker. So come what may, I would not try to escape. And one day I was praying, I was kneeling by the bed, and I usually said my prayers aloud, and right in the middle of a sentence I was totally interrupted with these words, I shall deliver you. And I remember sitting back on my knees, and I thought, wow, that had to have been God. And then the light dawned, aha, if he's going to deliver me, that must mean he approves of my leaving. And fortunately, the front door was unlocked, and I knew where they kept the keys to my car, on a nail in the back porch of the main farmhouse. So I got in my car, and out of the side view mirror, I saw the leader start to walk for the car. And oh boy, I just rammed that accelerator, slid the car around, rammed the passenger side of the car into a big pile of redwood ties that were piled there. But I took off down that driveway, and I was out of there.
When I left the group, I was empty-headed to the degree that I didn't have an opinion. I wasn't allowed to have an opinion. You are so nobody, you are so nothing, and you're so brainwashed. You're not ready for the world. A lot of women that leave, a lot of men that leave, will also go back. Because of that brainwashing, I think, is the main reason. In here, you're going to go to hell. 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 The only way is back. The only way is back. My biggest fear was, what if I die and get on the other side and find out it was true after all? And it scared me. Through all of those years after I left the group, I didn't want any religion. The only God I knew was the God of the polygamy group, God hated me. I'd been taught that all my life. He hated me. And so the best thing to do is be run away from him, and which I did for years and years.
It always blew me away when, if my brothers or sisters, when they left polygamy and they joined the Mormon church, I'm like, what are you doing? If the root's bad, the tree's bad, the branches are bad. If polygamy is wrong and that's why you left, then why are you going back to Mormonism? It just dumbfounded me. I'm like, it's the same thing, boys. You know, it's just whitewashed a little bit. It's just cleaned up, a little more socially acceptable than the fundamentalists. You know, if you want to get free, all the way.
My children were pushing at me to get back in the Mormon church. So, being the pleaser that I've been through my life, I went back to the Mormon church, but when I went to get rebaptized back into the Mormon church, I felt absolutely icky about it. I didn't feel right in doing it, but I did it to please my kids. And that became a living hell also for me. And so I just started to plead with God, teach me the truth, that the truth might set me free, because I can't take this anymore. And I told Father in heaven, I said, you take me home, if you will, please, because I can't stand this anymore, or get me out of it, or show me the truth, because I can't live this way anymore. Not there, not here. And I said, Father, somewhere there's got to be some truth. Somewhere I got to find it. I told the Lord, I said, Father in heaven, I'll crawl back to the branch on my hands and knees if that's what you want. If that's where you're at, and that's what you want, I'll go. Or I'll stay in the Mormon church. If that's what you want, I will do anything you want me to do. I just want to be where the truth is and serve you with all of my heart, my mind, and strength. Just take me there, please. I've begged him, and it's just opening up, you know, inch by inch. And it's still very hard for me because I'm fresh in it, and I told God, I will do whatever you want. You can have everything. I'll go wherever you want me to go. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just don't let go of me, because I love him. And that's why I'm here, because it feels so right to me at this point in my life. And I just told him, I said, I can't stand this confusion anymore. It's got to be cleared up for me. I can't live in it anymore. Take me home if I have to, because it's driving me crazy. I'm going to end up in the loony bin trying to find you, you know. So.
Joseph Smith questioned the final authority, God's Word.
As a mainstream Mormon and as a fundamentalist, I'd been taught that you couldn't trust the Bible, that the Bible wasn't sufficient, that it had been corrupted and was full of errors and problems.
They teach that the Bible is right in as much as it's been translated correctly, which they claim it has not been.
The question became, can I trust the Bible? Has it been translated correctly? And we could look at the history of the manuscript evidence, and we can see how clearly God had set His Word apart from all other works of antiquity, just by virtue of the amount of manuscripts that exist of the New Testament.
One of the first things I started looking up was, I need to find out where the Bible teaches that Jesus and Satan are brothers. And I remember